This is Andy Purewal, Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm delighted joined by Saqib Khan over Zoom. Saqib, firstly, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I hope everything's going well. Before we kind of come on to your plans for 2022, let's just reflect on last year for you making your pro debut, coming away with a points victory, some time to reflect. What did you make of your performance now?
Yeah, looking at my last performance, I wasn't I wasn't really too impressed with it myself because I am my biggest critic, but I do cut myself a bit of slack, being 2.5 years out of the ring, um, and I just really enjoyed the moment. Enjoy the moment, having my fans there, being on a big stage for me. Um, I was happy the way I dealt with the scenario and situation, and happy to get my first win under my belt for my first fight in 2 years. So felt good.
Making your pro debut on a show like that, on a Wasserman show, which was streamed live on Boxing Social. What you know, it's the perfect platform to start your career. Did that add any pressure boxing on a show put on by Wasserman?
Yeah, definitely. There's always pressure, and there's always pressure in any fight. Um, but just having like the support I had, like in the amateur days, like because it used to be up and down the country, not many people used to come. But whereas in York Hall, I had the biggest crowd, sold the most tickets, and so that added a bit of pressure, and then having the Wazaman team behind me as well, that added a bit more pressure, and then being live on Boxing Social, a lot of people watched my fight at home. My messages were full after the fight. So yeah, to be honest, I do cut myself a bit of slack, um, because it was such a big day for me, and I'm just happy that it went well.
You move into 2022 now. What are your plans moving forwards? What have you and your team set out for you to look to do this year as everything progresses?
So we're working closely with Wasserman Boxing. Um, Hopefully, be out soon. Got nothing set yet, but just ticking over in the gym. So hopefully, have about 4 or 5 fights this year. Um, that is the plan for 2022, and just keep building my name up, and keep climbing up the ranks.
Your opponent on your debut, 4 wins, 3 defeats. So you started off against somebody with a winning record. Well, you're looking at it now. Is that something you want to do moving forwards? You want to continue to face people who have those winning records as opposed to that maybe the journeyman top fighter?
Yeah, definitely. We're not listen. We're not looking here to. We're not looking in this game to take my time. I do want to take my time, but I don't want to be just fighting journeyman for 12 fights and like just having that under my record. I want to move up the ladder quickly. And even for my first fight, being 2 years out of the ring, fighting someone like Jack Eubank, who before me fought Joe Laws, um, who's undefeated, had 13 fights, and there's me taking it on my pro debut. And to be honest, Jack Eubank really fancied his chances, um, coming into the fight. So it was so it was a good learning fight for me, and I'm just going to keep building on from this.
You build on from it. Talking about the progression then. So by the end of the year, are you going to be looking towards maybe a 6 rounder? Is that the plan?
Yeah, that is a plan. Probably, yeah, moving swiftly on from 4 rounders. To be honest, I'm not a fan of the 4 rounders. Uh, I'm I like the 6 rounders. I want more time in there, just to break down my opponent, and yeah, just have more time in there. I'm really enjoying my boxing right now.
Saqib, also, I just want to get and kind of a an overall outlook on some of the past sparring experiences that you've had. I know you've shared the ring with people like Anthony Fowler, Ohara Davis, ones which I've picked up on. How do you feel against those guys who have competed in the pro game at a higher level than yourself so far?
It's funny enough you say that. I sparred Ohara yesterday. I done 8 rounds. You could probably tell with a few marks on my faces, but I done 8 rounds with Ohara yesterday. It was quality work, man. Ohara is he's a great guy, great character. Lots of talking in the sparring, but it's all fun and games, and it's just great learning from Ohara. Having him accessible to spar is I'm really grateful for.
One final
And
thing. Karen
sorry,
Saqib, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
yeah, just like I also sparred Bradley Skeet before they announced the Shiraz fight. So I got to do 6 round with Bradley Skeet, and that was a good learning rounds for me, and that definitely helped me develop my boxing skills even more.
Just as a bit of a wayward topic, you mentioned Skeet there. What did you make of that very controversial defeat he suffered to Hamza Shiraz?
Listen, for me, I think tensions arise when you're fighting, and especially when you're at that big stage, and it's a big fight like that. Things happen, and yeah, like I feel like things happen and things arise, and it is what it is. Like they got to move on from it. I think Hamza done the right thing, offered him the rematch, and yeah. So look, if they don't accept the rematch and stuff, that's on them, innit? So I think I think they've done the right thing, offering the rematch and stuff.
Moving away from that, and just one final fight, which I'm sure you'll be keeping a close eye on as it's around your way. Amir Khan and Cal Brook is coming up. It's only a few weeks away now, Saqib. Just want to get your take on it.
Yeah, it's an exciting fight. Big rivalry. I've been watching Amir Khan since the day I started boxing, and even before that. So big Khan supporter. Probably wouldn't have started boxing if it wasn't for Amir Khan. Put us on the map. So I think Amir Khan, I think it's going to be a 50-50 fight. Look, Kel's got a lot of skills. They're both ex-world champions, so I think I'm 50-50 on that. So I'm just a 50-50 guy on that fight. But I got a sway towards Amir Khan on that.
Just mentioning kind of how Amir Khan impacted yourself moving into the boxing industry, Saqib. It's always an interesting topic. Do you feel he gets the recognition he deserves?
I think he's starting to get that more so. I think people haven't been grateful for Amir Khan, like because he's been over in the US, like he was based there. So I feel like the fans don't back him as much because he didn't fight over here as much. But I think Amir Khan's done a hell of a deal for especially young Asian fighters, and made our pathway much more easier.
Right, Saqib, we'll leave that there and I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate your time and thank you for speaking to me in Boxing Social.
No worries. Thank you, Andy, for the interview.